Hello. I like doing that motion a lot, like blah, 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 blah. All right, anywho. I hope this mic is loud AF, and I'm just gonna do a thing here. Is that my Twitter? Is that my Twitter? Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hi. If you're here, say something. Say hello to me. Let me know you care. Hi, Fefe. When the wine is gone, so am I. I'm drinking in a classy jug today because I'm a classy broad. Oh, yes. I've been drinking these Boda Box wines, and it is so good. Hi, Victory Begins in the Garden. How you doing? I don't know what I got this from, but I feel like I got this in an influencer, like this mug. I feel like it had something to do with milk products or something because it says Organic Valley on it. I mean, I don't care. If you can drink wine out of a jug, like a mason jar, like that's life. Hey, Kathleen Gitt. I'm just popping on right quick because I'm bored. One, I am in fact bored. The other, I did want to kind of show you guys, like I've been wearing this makeup all day. I've been wearing this all day. I have not touched anything up. I am not, and this is, whoa. I don't know what's going on with the weird thing is there's not a neighbor directly upstairs. So the person on the third floor is doing the absolute most for me to hear them on the first floor. What are you doing up there, guy? I once heard them arguing, and if you must know, yes, I did get nosy and just turn everything down and listen to the argument. I'm bored. What do you want me to do? Hey, Bethany, how you doing, ma'am? I hope this mic isn't hella loud because I've been fussing with it. So, hey, Chris. What? This is like a low-key live. I'm just going to be here until the wine is gone. And then when the wine's gone, I'm going to go on by my business. So that's like 20 minutes. Bethany, you're a total eavesdrop gal too. Yeah, so I like I've had my patio door open before and like heard people like talking outside. I'm like, oh, what are they talking about? Let me just get closer. And I'm over there listening. I feel like we're all getting a little crazy, a little stir crazy. And this is not planned because like I have a live coming up tomorrow with my good friend Emily. And then and I was making the thumbnail for it and I was editing a video because I multitask and I can't help but do like 17 things at one time. But I wanted to come on because I wanted people to see actually what my foundation does look like after a full day's wear. Like this is me not touching it up. And let me see if I can get close enough to one of the big lights so that you can see what this actually looks like. So give me a sec. Okay, this is it in its natural state. I love this foundation with my whole heart. What are you doing, dude? So the foundation that I am wearing is actually, this is the Becca. And it's here, like normally it says it on the side, but because I got it from Influencer, I believe. I mean, I know this one I got, I think, in a boxer charm. But it says Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. This is the tits. This is the tits. I really like this foundation because a little bit goes a long way. That's why I'm such a big fan of trying foundations, because the biggest difference sometimes I see between like drugstore foundation and mid-range to luxury foundations is really I don't know how to say this. It's the amount that you use. There we go. It's the amount that you have to use. So like the Screen Queen is one of the ones that I have found that is closest to acting like a mid-range foundation, or to a mid-range foundation. The Screen Queen is one of the best ones I have found that acts like that, and that you don't have to use oodles and oodles of it. Because I know back in the day, liquid foundation was just it was a mess. And that's one of the things I love about Robert Welsh and him talking about like the amount of foundation people use, because it drove me absolutely nuts, and still does, when I see people just like book, I'm like, what are you doing? You're using so much product. Like, gives me a panic. Kathleen said, I have neighbors where the mom yells like no one can hear. She probably, no, she knows. She knows. She doesn't care. Do you think it will work for skin that is dry like the Sahara? Yes. I do think it will work. First off, Becca as a brand, I really don't know why they don't get more hype, because their shit is bomb. This foundation is like, I have combination skin that leans more towards oily. And what I did with it, if you're an oily skin person, what I did to keep it from like, this is why it's not a whole oily ass mess. Also, it wasn't super hot today, but I am going to say that instead of putting moisturizer on and my, primer, I actually just use the primer, and then I don't do the moisturizer and the primer. I just do one, because I realize that when I do both, I end up looking like an oil slick. But it's very hydrating, to be honest. It's very hydrating, and it feels like freaking skin. Does it transfer? Yeah. I mean, virtually every foundation, especially if you're brown, it's going to transfer. But what are you going to do about it? My skin. Whatever, Chris, you're so used to seeing my like skin looking extra hideous in those fucking Marco Polos. Yes, Feffy, it is a good foundation. And Bethany, I've been hearing more and more great things about Becca. Don't they have a decent shade range as well? Fuck yes. That's the other thing I like about Becca, because like they're so slept on. Because legit, hey, Alicia. But Becca is so slept on because legit, they do like this foundation. When I like right now, when I'm touching my face, I know, and that's just touch our faces. It's my face, my hands are clean. But when I'm touching my face, I don't feel like I'm touching product. I feel like I am touching just like my face. I have actually laid down this one. It doesn't transfer a lot, but it does a little bit. But I lay down on a turquoise pillow and I don't come up and there's not a brown mark on my turquoise pillow from this. And I have been using just the teensiest bit of translucent powder on the top. I've been using Laura Mercier. You guys, I'm going to have to take back my like hatred of powder. Listen, I know I'm old and I know I got wrinkles, but a teensiest smattering, just like a little raindrop of it on your face with a huge floofy brush. I have this brush that is, ooh, let me grab it. Hold on 1 second. Let me grab it. Ooh, yeah. Ugh. Yeah. So I got this brush in one of those, of like a beauty box, I think. And I never messed with it for a long time. And then I started messing with it. It's from Moda Studios. This brush is perfect for me for putting on powder because I get a bunch of it on this brush and it's like all I need to just kind of powder around my face like this. And then I'm set. I'm set for the day. I go on and I'm loving it for my oily ass skin. I'm having a good time with it. And the thing about it is I like that I'm able to use a little bit of powder and keep everything from like falling the fuck apart. But I do get to use a little bit of powder and it just, I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. It's not terrible, but I think the people who are going like in with powder, and I'm not a person who's going to set a lot in my under eyes. I'm just not. The thing about this too, is I don't even use concealer with this. So I don't know if you guys can see that. I did not use any concealer with this foundation. This one and the Jouer, I actually don't use concealer. A lot of full coverage foundations, because I barely even use one pump of it, these ones are really full coverage and they do a lot more for my dips here than some other foundations. Some of the other foundations that I use, I actually I put concealer on and then It's too much. I'm trying to get to a point where I'm not having to use so many things around my eyes because it weighs my eyes down and I end up looking darker and more tired and sad. So I'm not down for that anymore. Let's see what you guys are saying. It has been a minute since I've been on YouTube and now you're live. Hi, Inside the Makeup Drawer. How you doing? Chris, what's the point of Becca? Becca has a lot of skin loving products. So the thing that I love about them, and they have a few things coming out that I'm gonna sneeze. Oh gosh, you guys are so lucky that did not actually come out because I have a death metal scream sneeze. Moving on. But with Becca, I don't know why they're so slept on. I feel like they're just quietly making badass shit. And I don't know if enough people are talking about it, but they have been quietly making really good stuff. They have some skincare stuff that's coming out. And I think I might indulge. I've become a little bit of a monster lately. I've been buying some stuff. I bought some Kaleidos. I'm feeling, oh, the price point of Becca. Chris, it's mid-range. Hey, COS, how you doing, girl? Hey, Keisha, I'm like, so obviously the wine's already starting to kick. That's sad for me already. I actually have not eaten dinner, so that, to be fair. Yeah, I would say it's about mid-range for Becca. I think that one's about $44. But again, here is the thing about foundation. And this is why I'm always going to say this when people are fucking with foundation. Don't get overwhelmed by the price because, especially with this one, a full coverage, this is going to last. It's not something that you're going to use up. That's one of the reasons I don't like a lot of the drugstore foundations that I have tried is because, yes, is it $10? Is it $11? Yeah. However, the $10 or $11 for a lot of those foundations, you're just using it up like fucking crazy because it's got too much water in it. It's very water-based. And so you end up using a ton of the product. So you're going through them, whereas you can have one of these for, 2 months and still be like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll order another one because, this one's just going to expire. You know what I mean? You will more than likely have it expire exactly, Bethany. Foundation will pay off like a great pair of shoes. Thank you. Tequila, COS, are you drinking tequila right now? Listen, I do not mess with tequila anymore. I'm not. Yeah, listen, I don't know why, and you guys can probably hear Bo in the background and the motorcycles going through because I did some tuning on my mic, so I hope I'm not screaming at you. I'm already loud. Here, let me just see if I can get some of this up on my phone. I have no idea what he's playing with. They just came out with this Ignite Liquefied Light Face and Body Highlighter, and it looks so fascinating to me. And then they're really well known for their highlighter, but I don't understand why people don't know all the fabulous things that they don't have. Like, I want the primer that they have. So I'm going to kind of show you guys some of the stuff I'm looking at. Like, I want the primer. This is the foundation that I'm wearing right now. I was right. It's $44. Yay, noggin. But this is the one that I'm wearing. I fucking love it. And then they have so many good things. So what I really want to try is their Evermatte Poreless Priming Perfector, which is here. I really want to try this. That wants to be, I feel like that's going to be my friend. I want to try it. I want us to hang out. I want us to be really good friends. The only product of theirs that I really didn't like was that weird ass wet powder. That was weird. That was a weird thing, but I want to try their concealer. I really want to have like almost damn near a full face of Becca to try out for you guys because, ooh, Keisha, you just said the magic words, which is lipstick. I'm a lipstick bitch. Listen, I'm going to go on my angry tirade on liquid lipstick. Now I know people out there are going to disagree with me. They love their liquid lipstick. Liquid lipstick is a nightmare for me. Like, the weird thing about liquid lipstick is like, I'm one of those people, I never gave a shit about transferring my lipstick onto anything. I didn't care. And if somebody I was dating was like, oh, your lipstick is on my face, I'm like, so? Liquid lipstick is here's what I'm going to say about it. I have never in my life, had to do all this extra shit for a lip gloss or a lipstick ever. I've never had to like go scrub my lips extra hard and then put this lip oil on it and then put this on top of it, then put on the liquid lip. Then no, it's getting to be too much. My lips just get so dry and it's so uncomfortable. And the fact that every time we talk about liquid lip, we're like, this one's a comfortable liquid lip. No, thank you. Kelsey, I love how you explained the price per use because I was not bright enough to figure it out. I love how you explain the process of testing product. Yeah, I mean, thank you. So the thing is, and it's so hard in these times right now to really test a foundation because I will take these bitches through the gamut. And I will say this in every video that I talk about, but I will take it through the gamut because foundation, unlike my eyeshadow or anything like that, foundation is its name. What is a foundation? It's the base of everything. So if I'm going to try it, I need to know that I've done all of the things. And if it didn't work, it didn't work. Also, I do all of the things to be able to say, like, if you have oily skin, this might be a better way for you to wear this product. Like, because there are things that we've tried before that we didn't like because we just didn't know, oh, well, I just didn't need to do this step. And if I knew that, I wouldn't have done it because we're all on YouTube and you watch all the beauty gurus and everybody has their own thing, right? But a lot of people are doing all this layering or they're doing this or they're putting the cream products on. If you're following any of that stuff, then sometimes this may not work for you. So that's really the thing is you just kind of have to realize that it's just not. It's just trying makeup is going to be one of those things, but it's really, really really, really important for us to all be able to know, especially with the foundation. Now, eyeshadow, I'm not fucking with it anymore. I'm done trying to force an eyeshadow to work because I don't have time. Like this is how I look when I go to work. I am not kidding. Like this is the look I put on when I go to work. All right. If I decide I want to put on an eyeshadow, I need to be able to grab a palette and go like this. Okay, I'm going to use this color here. And I need to be able to just be like this and slap it on my face and go on about my business. It needs to be very easy. And it doesn't need to be a whole process where I have to work with it because that's not what the everyday person is going to experience, right? When I'm on camera, the makeup that I do for on camera is far more extreme than I would do in real life. Like I put on when I'm normally filming, there's more foundation that I use and more concealer, all of that I use more of because the lights wash me out. I'm using a webcam and the webcam does have blue light. So unlike Raw Beauty Kristi, I'm not orange, I'm blue. So I always have to spend time being like, am I blue? I'm blue. And so like, that's the thing. Also, these gurus look fucking crazy in person with some of these layered ass looks. Yes. So Chris, that is a fact. One of the things I'm trying to put together is actually being able to show you guys the difference in like what this looks like when you put on your full face of YouTube makeup and then what it looks like in natural light because it's crazy. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people stop doing that super light under eye. Remember when it was like 3 shades lighter than the rest of you and that shit was ridiculous? A lot of people stopped doing it because when you got into natural light, you looked like an insane raccoon, like a insane reverse raccoon. Nobody knew what to do with you. Stop, son. Come here. We already went. Come on. But nobody knew what to do with you. You looked insane. When you took pictures, you looked like a whole ass clown. Like I remember, and I've seen pictures from that era and I was like, oh, why didn't anybody tell me I look so fucking crazy? Because you have this whole area. And the thing was, it wasn't like, it was just like a little bit here. It was like, it went all the way down here. I got you. What do you have to give? He's not going to give it. And so you just had this insanity happening here. And it was like going all the way down here and all the way around. So your eyes were like, and then the contour. I'm so glad we stopped contouring like we used to because that shit got nuts where you were just sculpting a new you. And I was just like, I don't have time for all this. Realistically, like when I'm sitting here and I have like 3 hours to get ready, okay. But real talk, who has 3 hours to get ready like that? Like if I'm going out on a date and I'm going to spend 3 hours making mommy new face, no. No. Keisha's sharp ass face. Yes. And here's the thing. One of the things I realized is I was like, I really shouldn't contour that much. My cheekbones are sharp as fuck anyway. Like I could cut glass with these. When I was kind of contouring them, it was like, it got a little, like even I got a little like, it's a little too sharp. And there is such a thing. I was like, I look like I'm gonna cut a bitch. And I don't want to be walking up people with them being like, and me be like, so sorry. Watch out for my cheekbones. So it's just one of those things where I feel like and it's good that we have people in this sphere, because like Whitney Hedrick, she talks about it a lot. Robert Welch, obviously, but they really are in the sphere talking about the difference in between what we look like in these lights and then what we look like in real life. And you look insane. What are you doing, bro? What do you have? Hold on one second. I got to see what this boy is grabbing on. Nope. Never mind. He can have it if it keeps him entertained. Between Too Light Concealer, the Over Contour, and the UK YouTube chicks making themselves look like damn near black. Those were crazy times. Girl, they're still doing it. I don't know how many of you have heard of blackfishing, and there's several videos on it, but that shit is ugly. It's really annoying. 2 to 3 hours to do your face to go to the store is unreal. Girl, it's Piggly Wiggly, not a drag show. Calm your contour. I love Robert so much. Kelsey, we all look like sharp-edged mannequins. We really did. And like, I'm glad that, like, I'm hoping that lashes are starting to calm down. Not saying you can't wear lashes. If you love lashes, wear them. What I'm saying is, can we calm them down from them being like having their own zip code? Can we calm them down from, I don't know, maybe powering my electricity that I get from Green Mountain? Can we do that? I mean, actually, that does help. So maybe just keep them on, whatever. But it just starts getting insane where they're just like, when they look at you, they're like, hi. And you're like, and I like back when the days when we could go to restaurants, that would frighten me when my server showed up and they were just like, hi. And I'm like, and I'm like blinking for them because it just like was moss. I was just like, that's a lot of shit. Keisha, whole windmill vibes, Swiffer lashes. Hey, vision of you. Yeah, I feel like it got really insane. And I feel like we go through that every time we start changing with makeup. It's like the same reason that people don't really like to watch tutorials, because everybody keeps asking that question. I have the answer. We don't need to watch tutorials anymore because everybody, like, once you got the basics of what you needed to do, eye drops. Once most of us got the basics of what we needed to do, you also had to learn your style, right? Yes, blending up into your hairline. So fun fact, and also like willy-nilly, I was really glad that Robert Welch brought this up because willy-nilly bronzing, what the fuck is going on with that? Like people are just bronzing wherever I don't think, so here's what I'm gonna say. When I'm putting my makeup on in the morning, first of all, when I put on my highlighter, it's in a different place virtually every day because I actually check and see where light is like hitting. Like I'll just be in the mirror and I'll turn my face and be like, oh, that right there. I'm going to hit this spot right here where the light is hitting. I'm going to hit right here. Like you can highlight weird little spots like right here where the light is hitting, because then when you kind of turn, you have the light hitting right here and you're like, hi. So it's just little stuff like that. But people are really literally just throwing bronzer everywhere. And I get confused because I'm just like, well, is that where the sun, I mean, is it okay? Because like, do I have a giant forehead? Yes, I do. But I also, when I bronze here, I don't really bronze here. I don't need to bring this in at all. My forehead is big. This part isn't. When I blend this in, then that evens all the rest of my face out. Like when I bronze there, like it evens everything else out. So the last thing I want to do is pull like my whole face into like right here. That's fucking creepy. Look at me. Like, Do you see? Like, I don't think people think about it. It's a shadow, right? And when you're creating a shadow, you're also making this part stand out. So then if I'm doing that, then this is my face. And this is like, I don't want to look like that. Oh, and COS, not even just blending up into your hairline. Remember when people were putting fucking foundation on their necks? What the hell was going on there? They're just over here like, oh yeah, you got to get it down. I'm like, why would you? I mean, maybe I guess if you don't have any neck sweat, I guess good power to you. Do you bronze the same areas you contour? I am in confusion. So I don't contour. I don't use bronzer to contour, but it can look like that. I would say it just depends. So your contour is meant to define, right? So Robert Welch has talked about this as well. So that's going to be a cooler shade. So you're defining an area, but they should all blend into, you shouldn't see where one starts and one ends. Does that make sense? Like you shouldn't, for instance, like one of the reasons I do my blush the way I do, which when I do blush, I will powder, like there's nothing on this brush. I'll powder here, and all the way up here. And then as I'm adding other product, like it'll all kind of become one thing. Not like one muddy thing, but it's a very natural look by the end. So you, like, if you're looking at me now, you wouldn't exactly know like it should all flow. It should be a nice, beautiful flow. See, Averia, a lot of people think that you have to match your face and neck. What people don't realize, one, you can choose whatever you want. But the reality of the situation is when you're looking at me head on, you cannot see my neck right now. You can see kind of parts of it, but you can't actually see my neck. And since you can't see it, it doesn't make sense for me to be matching my face to an area that most people aren't looking at and aren't gonna see. Now, it shouldn't be like completely in a crazy color. Like this area here, you just want to make sure you're blending like this bone and this area here. You can blend a little here, blend a little here, but I do not pull foundation all the way down here, all the way down here, because at some point you're just like you would have to do foundation all the way here, all the way here, all the way down. Any place that people could see, you're going to have to be doing this whole area. What you really want to do is make sure that like when people are looking at you, there's not a huge discrepancy in these two areas. There can be a little one, it doesn't matter. It's because your eye is not going to detect it. For instance, when you're in your car, you roll one window down, right? And the sun hits you usually on that side. Guess what? This side of your body is a different color than this side of your body. Fucking nobody notices that. Hell, you most of the time don't either, but they are two different colors because this side got more sun than this side. Even if it's only 20 minutes, it's going to make a difference in your pigment. You match your foundation to your neck and then go one shade lighter because you wear so much powder. Not fair, Audrey. Your skin is glass, Keisha. I totally post my Instagram photos I do not edit them. I do not touch them up. I don't do any smoothing. I want you to see my texture. I don't think it's right. Like, and this is my personal opinion for me. I don't touch up my photos. I don't like to. The biggest reason isn't even like, oh, I don't look like this or oh, that. The biggest reason is that it's horrible for my self-esteem to do so because a photograph is static. When I'm editing a video, the video is moving, I'm moving, and it's nice. But on Instagram, when I'm trying to edit a photo, it's a static picture. And if you're staring at a static image of yourself, the longer you stare at it, the more things you find wrong with yourself. So I just pick a photo that I like the makeup and the look on my face and the light in my eyes, and I post that. I don't bother trying to make it look fantastic. And that's probably why I don't have a lot of Instagram followers. And I don't care because I would rather represent me than represent some bullshit version of me. And there's a video I did a gazillion years ago where I was editing. Mostly I was editing like dark circles and the brightness of my eyes. And then I was editing like the background lighting when I was doing a lot more fashion stuff. Is my IG handle the same as YouTube? Yes. Yes, it is. You don't touch up your pics and you don't use filters. It was messing up. Yeah, and here's the thing. What a lot of people don't realize too is as a Black woman, I'm going to tell y'all, a lot of those filters tend to make me look lighter and I don't like it. Sometimes I'll use one because I want you to see the eye look, but I really don't like the way that it looks when my skin becomes 3 shades lighter. It pisses me off because I'm like, you guys, I don't want to have light skin. I like being brown. Thank you. Have a good day. I enjoy being brown. But hi, Indigo. India's in the house, y'all. People are so surprised when I look like my pictures. When did that start? Kelsey, it's been going on. It has been going on. It is so tiresome to me because I feel like, why am I going to put out a representation of me? Because I look at it this way. I'm very future focused in a lot of ways. So I look at the future and I'm like, you know what if my channel did suddenly blow up and I have to do meet and greets? I don't want people to see a completely different person in real life. And like also from YouTube to Instagram it's weird for me. Like I look at people and I'm like, I mean, you do you, but it's weird because I'm having a hard time connecting these two people. Like that's usually how I feel about it. I'm like, I'm just having a really hard time connecting these people. I'm going to give it to you, but you're not getting the candy inside. No, you're not getting the candy inside. You can just have this to mess with, but chocolate is bad for dogs. Do you understand? Chocolate is bad for dogs. You can have the paper he's going to play with it. He's going to think that there's something in it, and that's what matters. I always get told I look better in person. One of the weirdest compliments I've gotten because I feel like that also means my pics are trash. No, Keisha, what that means is that they were expecting that person in the photos wasn't going to look good. So you do. That's what it is. Like people will say that now and they don't mean it as like, you look horrible in pictures. A lot of it is, I did not expect you to look this good. I really didn't expect you to look this good because I'm used to seeing everybody edit filters, Snapchat filter. Like I don't get it. And I try, and it's not because I'm an old bitch. That's not why I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it because I do not want to look at a version of myself that doesn't exist. That's not what I look like. Did you have fun? Come here. Come here. Come here. He's being such a stick in the mud. Like he goes out and then he's like, you're not talking to me. And so like, this is me. This is the me. This is who I am. And if I am constantly trying to make that person look different, then I'm going to want to look different. And then I'm not going to be proud of how I look. And then I'm going to cause myself all kinds of issues. I finally got to a place a few years ago where I love how I look. And for a long time, that was actually really hard for me. Bo, I don't have anything else that you can have. There's nothing else. Come here. Come here. Come on. Don't look at me. He's looking at me all sad. It's hurting my feelings. He stop hurting my feelings, son. I am drinking on a Boda box. I'm going to grab this box because you guys have got to get in on this. Hold on. Ugh. So this isn't empty, obviously, but it's 4 bottles of wine in this Boda box. It's amazing. This is also environmentally friendly, so you can recycle the box. It's so good. This is their Red Volution, and it's a red wine blend. I love it. I've been drinking on these for a little while, and better, oh, no wonder I get so drunk. It's 13.5% alcohol by ABV. Wow. Okay. But I have been getting messed up on those. We're not going to talk about it. But it stays fresh for a while. It's so good. And then the little bag inside, listen, I'm going to tell you my little like sad secrets. Here's what happens. I don't let any of it go to waste. I cut the bag and pour out the last little bit, and I'm like, bottoms up. But yeah. Bye, Chris. Have a good night. Finish your filming. Feffy, I used to hate my face like hate. 12 years of rude ass kids calling you ugly day in and day out will do that to you. That sucks. And I hate that people did that. That's fucked up. Where did I got mine at Specs? I got the Boda box at Specs. I'm sure it's sold like everywhere. So but yeah, but it's so good. And it's in your fridge, and you're just like, yeah, Chris, you girly. You girly, son. Hi. No, you can't have the fancy ass box. You can have this part. Fine. Fine. Take. Okay. He likes it when I give him things that he can destroy. But yeah, when I was younger, so for those of you that don't know, I grew up in Okinawa, Japan. And I did not experience any racism until I came to the United States. I lived on a military base, say what you will. I just didn't. Then I came to the United States, constantly got told I wasn't Black enough. And I always felt ugly. I lived in a small town. So I just felt very unattractive because I'm in a small town filled with mostly white people. Nothing against white people, obviously, but that is the standard of beauty. And I wasn't it. Everybody else is getting boyfriends and girlfriends. And I'm just over here like, I guess I'm ugly. And I felt very conflicted, and I had a hard time with the Black community because I didn't grow up here, and I didn't know things in the way that I speak. So there were a lot of things that made me very confrontational with my own people. And I have got to tell you guys, being in a warehouse was like the ultimate for me, because I finally got to connect and have consistently been doing so ever since with Black people. And that was 4 years ago. And it's made me so happy to be a part of the Black community, because I really feel like as I was coming into my own, my biases and my fears from growing up the way that I did just started to melt away. And I just had people, nobody was calling me white anymore. And, there weren't other Black people like talking shit about the way that I talk. They weren't calling me a white girl. Like, we were just communal, and I loved it. And now I feel like I'm going to cry, but like, it was very hard to grow up feeling like I didn't belong, and I didn't belong on either side, because I didn't belong with white people. I didn't belong with Black people. And I felt very alone. And it was a very hard and dark, depressing part of my life. And to have all of that turn around, especially right as my like marriage was falling apart, was amazing. And I'm just forever grateful for my I don't even know how to say it. I'm forever grateful that, one, I let the walls down to allow myself to be friends with other Black people, because I felt like it wasn't going to happen. I was just like, nobody's going to be nice to me. No, it was a large reason why I often dated outside of my race was because growing up, nobody within my race really wanted to date me except for that one creepy dude. And he stalked me for a little bit, and that wasn't cool. I mean, he didn't stalk me per se. He didn't stalk me, but he stalked me with his eyes. It was high school. We're not going to talk about it. But now I have just a completely different relationship with my Blackness and with other Black people that is glorious, and it makes me smile. And, I'll tell you the story of Fatback. All right. So I worked at Chewy, the Chewy warehouse, for a while, CHEWY, not the Mexican restaurant, in case you're a Texan. And These fools gave me the nickname Fatback, referring to my ass, of which I don't have one. And that is the joke. They're like, fat bag, look at you with your big old fat bag. And I was like, fuck you guys. But they like, I have all these friends. We have all these nicknames. We had Yams. We got Baby Bear, Big Bear. We call Baby Bear, Big Bear, Brother Bear. It depends on his personality that day, on which one he is, but it's just one of those things where like, I don't think people understand the difficulties of being Black in America, like really be like, because people hear about racism. Yeah. Does that suck? Fuck yeah, it does. But people do not hear often enough about how inside the Black community, there are so many struggles. And that's what breaks my heart, because I feel like we could get so much further if the colorism would stop, and if we would stop attacking each other and start loving each other as a group. So hold on. Oh, wait. I'm missing your comments. India said, that was me in junior high, Audra, and I was supposed to be in Japan this year for vacation. Oh, I'm sorry. Keisha said, I was plotting my exit from Philly since middle school. It was either me or them. We both weren't gonna be able to live like a Harry Potter prophecy. Damn, girl, you're fuck right. You right, though. COS, I hate that shit. I do too. It was just... It was really horrible. And I think the far-reaching issue is it's just like it broke my heart. And I am ashamed to admit that for a while I had this I'm better than them attitude because of how people treated me. And especially in Abilene, Texas, they're acting like they're from inner city LA, and I was like, this is Abilene. There's no hood or ghetto. I don't know why we're doing this. And because they were so mean to me, I just started adopting this, like, I'm better than them attitude. I'm better than you. This is what Blackness is. And as I got older, I started to be like, no, Audrey, you need to check yourself, because you're not better than anybody, especially dating interracially, because what I would see... Ooh, I'm about to get some serious shit going on. Dating interracially. Hi, Allie, get real. I am going to listen. It's gonna get. I get real as fuck on my live, so who cares? I'm gonna do it. Dating interracially is very problematic, especially if you are dating white men specifically. The women aren't as bad about it, but the white man, what I have discovered in my life, not necessarily yours, and I understand if this is going to upset people, and that's not my intent. I'm just trying to tell you my story. What I have discovered is that a lot of the white men that I dated, they were not desired by white women. And because they were not desired by white women, they went elsewhere, right? So, and Black women who were like me, who had any issues or problems, we were generally nice to everybody. We chill. We're like, oh, hey, how you doing? And they found that Black women were nice to them. So they would start dating Black women. However, they would use us in a way, and whether they knew it or not, but what they would do is elevate you using negative reinforcement, and not negative in the way that I mean it. What they would do is say, like, Black women are nicer than white women. Black women don't care about how much money you have. They're not like white women who do this. This is the things that I heard. White women want you to have status. White women want you to have cars, as if Black women just don't want that. And I was like, well, no, I'm only going to speak for myself. If you're trying in life, I'm about that. That was me then. Now I'm like, you better be somewhere in life. I ain't fucking with it. But the other side of it too was that they liked that you were Black, but they didn't want you to be too Black, right? It's good that you're Black, but don't be too Black. So my kind of Black was perfect for these guys. And they would elevate me against not only other white women, but against other Black women. Their plan essentially was, you're better than these ghetto chicks. You know what I mean? Like, you're better than these ghetto girls. I was going to do a whole video on this, and now I'm fucking done. I'm going to talk to y'all about it now because I was going to refilm this video about my nightmare date. Fuck this shit. I was hooking up with this guy, and it was a whole thing. It was a thing. The dick was weak. Anyways, there were other things that were good about it, but the dick was whack. So anyhow, we're laying there and I'm really just waiting for him to leave. I want him to go because I don't cuddle. Get the fuck out of my house. It was a booty call. It's time for you to leave. But he insisted on cuddling, and I'm trying to be a nice person sometimes. Sometimes I'm trying to have a sensitivity to another human being who put their carrot in my taco. So we're laying there and he's telling me this story of how he's dated Black women before. And he's talking about a girl named Lakeisha that he was with. And I don't care. Like, I don't care if you talk about your ex because I don't plan to be one. So it doesn't fucking bother me. Talk about your ex. So he is talking about her. Her name's Lakeisha. And he was talking about how she said her name was French. She goes to France. They go to France together, I guess, on a trip. And she had told him that her name was French. And he, and I'm going to call him this because he deserves it for this shit, was being a fucking colonizer. All right. Because he wouldn't let her just have this thing. Because here's the root of, here's where I'm going to slide into this and we'll get back to it. The reason I'm pissed off that he did this thing, that he asked the cab driver if Lakeisha was a French name, the reason I'm angry about it is because Black people don't know where the fuck we come from. And, you know, that was a little thing that she had. Do you know what I mean? It was a little thing that she had. It doesn't matter if it was true or not. And deep down, I'm sure she knew it wasn't true, but you didn't have to snatch it from her. You really didn't. That was a dick ass move. So anyway, he does that. He asked the cab driver, and the cab driver's like, no, that's not a French name. And I don't know why he had to be a dick. So already in this story, I'm like, you're an asshole. Like, you couldn't let her have this. Like, you couldn't let her have that? Like, let her. Like, Black people don't know where we came from. If her mama told her it was French, let her have it be French. What purpose did it serve you to take that from her? Nothing other than to be an asshole. So anyhow, he's going on about that. And I'm sitting here look kind of side-eyeing him and looking at his titties. Look, I like chubby men. We're going to move on. And, he then looks at me and says, like, I was just glad that you didn't have a ghetto name. Skirt! I didn't have a ghetto name. This motherfucker put his carrot in my taco. And then says he's glad I don't have a ghetto name. I was just waiting for him to tell me, I'm so glad you speak proper. Motherfucker, I have never been so glad to get somebody out of my house. Now, old me would have gotten way fucked off and smacked him and all this shit. But new me was like, that's okay. You ain't getting this kitty again. We're not doing this. I'm not doing this. This isn't going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to leave. You're going to leave and don't call me again. Don't call me again. Blocked his number. This kind of shit is what I'm talking about. And this is why I bring this up. Because there is, as one of y'all said in here, I think it was Keisha, or it may have been India, safe Black. They're looking for, you know, and I get it. I have some semi-exotic features to give the idea that maybe I'm not just Black. I'm fucking Black. I'm Black. There's nothing, I'm Black. All right. There's nothing that's gonna, you know, don't try to ask me what my lineage is. I don't know. Most of us don't know. We were brought over on boats. We don't get to know. So the fact that you're over here constantly doing this, and that's the problem, is when inside our Black community, when you are made to feel like an outsider as a Black person, you take this shit. I don't now. But you take it when you're younger and you allow that to build you up, and it gives you this idea that you are better than other Black women. Now I don't know how to explain it, but to have this shift where I don't see other Black people as an enemy, I don't know how to really explain it, but to be able to look at other black people and not feel threatened, to be able to look at other black people and see their beautiful skin, to be able to look at other black people and not feel like I have to feel like I am better than them is more than I could ever ask for in my entire lifetime. And I'm sad that it took this long because my gosh, I could have had so much going for me, but I allowed a wall that happened to me when I was younger. And I get it, your youth shapes you, but I'm glad I let it drop. I'm glad I let it drop in order to be at a point where I look at other black people, I'm like, hey, how y'all doing? And that kind of growth, you can't force it. And it's something that you have to see on your own. And one of the biggest ways that I saw it was not only working in the warehouse, but it was also in breaking up with my husband, my ex-husband, because I started to realize little things about our marriage. He was white. I say was because when I'm done with you, I say was because you're dead to me, because you may as well be dead because it's easier for me. But the point is, I started to realize little things that I didn't notice when we were together. I noticed how much my blackness was useful to him. Like when he was having a political conversation, that it would come up very much. If he was trying to defend why he didn't like the Confederate flag, oh yeah, it was great to say, well, but my wife is black. Like that's when I showed up in the story. And I was like, you can't have your argument without throwing my black ass into it. You can't just say you believe this because it's right for you. Why are you throwing the fact that I am black into this shit? Like, just don't talk about me in your argument. Have an argument without being like my black wife. Like, damn. I'm all for interracial dating. I admit I get a little frustrated when it seems more of a fetish or self-hate thing to date other. It's queasy vibes. Yes, Keisha, that's the thing. Because I get what people are trying to say when they say preference. I get that they're using the wrong terminology. I get it. Because I think about it this way. Like, for instance, I have a thing for redheads. No matter what color you are, if you have red hair, I'm not going to be able to resist. Hi, Ed Sheeran. I'm waiting for you, boo. But there's a TikTok doc. He doesn't live that far from me. He's in Arlington, Texas. I'm like, can't. But I understand what people are trying to say, right? I don't think that they're trying to say, I only date black women because. And I don't know what they should use as their word, because I don't think for some of these people, and a large amount of these people, I don't think it's a fetish. I think that is who they find attractive. Do you know what I mean? They look at everybody and they find this attractive. I find a good nose attractive. There's a fella I talk to from time to time. He's got an aristocratic nose and I like that shit. But there are features that you find attractive. There's a hair color you find attractive. And I don't know where you put race in it. Because also I love me a good Korean man. We're not going to talk about it. Okay. But it's difficult because you don't know how to say it without being fetishy, and you're not trying to be fetishy. You're just saying like, no, I like this. See, Keisha has a thing for redheaded women. I cannot resist red hair. Listen, TikTok is very accurate at what it shows you. My TikTok shows me redheaded, tattooed, gay people. And obviously, that's my life. Thank you. Allie Get Real just hit it on the nail on the fucking head. My white boyfriend has defended me before in front of his guy friends, and when they wore Confederate shirts, he pointed out how they were the treasonous bunch. Not my girl is black. Exactly. That was the thing. I look back now and I wonder how it was that I stayed as long as I did, because it doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't. Like I look and I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? Obviously I was young, but young ma types. Ooh, we're getting serious in here about what we like. I listen. Also, we're every once in a while, and in a few videos, I try to sneak it in. I'm trying to campaign to get Justin Long to realize that he's my secret boyfriend. Listen, I don't know why I love Justin Long. Maybe it's his long face. His boyish good looks. I don't know, but I feel like Justin Long is a freak, and I just want to experience it one time. Also, Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran's a freak. I feel it. I feel it deep down in my soul. I feel like he's just like. Anyways, sorry, that was a lot of motion. What is TikTok? COS, don't go there. Don't fuck with it. Don't look at it. Don't know about TikTok. Don't know about it. If you don't know about it, you're safe. Keisha, I'm going to read this aloud for anybody on the replay. Wait, Keisha says, wait, I have a stupid question. I've never dealt with a white man. Are their peens all pink? The breath that I have lost. I'm trying to breathe. Hold on. Give me. I can't breathe. That is not a yes or no question. Bethany is in. If it's pink, it's weak. Oh my God. I love you guys so much right now. There aren't words for it. I'm like fucking dying. Oh my God. They're like, they're all very different. It's why are you guys trying to kill me? It is not a stupid question. It is not a stupid question at all, because it's the same way that people think that because we're brown, it's brown. The taco has no tomato, and that's not true. Oh Lord, it's a good thing I'm not monetized yet, because we gonna talk about it. Keisha, you ain't going nowhere. Stay right here. We're having a good conversation. You just stay right here. Listen, they're all different. Oh, and that's what I was getting to, is like, I feel like what happens in that instance when you're interracially dating, and they're the ones who have status issues, and it's not everybody, but the ones who do, the white women that they want suddenly want them when they see them with the exotic blackness that is me. And then I have random chicks in a bar bathroom, if you will, back when we could go, asking me questions. You know, like, does he have a big carrot? I'm like, bitch, I don't know you. I'm not talking about it. And you're only interested in him because you think that, like, because I'm exotic. Oh Lord, the carpet. I don't know why people ask that question. No, the carpet doesn't always match the drapes. Have y'all just not? The fuck? So weird. Like, it does for some people, but I'm like, have you heard of black hair? Oh my God, Alicia, have you been listening to all of this? I'm so happy you're talking about this, because being black to some and not black enough to others is exhausting. It is. If you're light skinned, you're not enough. And it's like, but still black. What the fuck is happening here? And the problem is we don't get represented. And then there's a resentment towards light-skinned people that they don't deserve, right? Just because someone is light-skinned doesn't mean I should be resentful towards them because of it. Because I can't, it's not their fault. Like, that's how they were born. So like, I can't sit there, look at somebody that's light-skinned and be an asshole to them just because they're light-skinned. Like, they didn't do anything to get this praise that's heaped on them that isn't something that they want. They're not sitting there doing that. They're not like, oh, I'm light-skinned, I'm better than you. Hey, T. But we do have a problem with the crew of white women who are trying to appear like they are light-skinned. That's problematic. That is gross. It's not okay. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you trying to adopt this persona? So being Black there's so many things rolled up into it. And T's talked about this multiple times. And I was so glad she talked about it. And I have such a hard time because I try to keep my channel light and I try not to really like delve into all the shit that pisses me off, but it does piss me off. It does piss me off when I look back at my childhood sometimes. And like, I realize like people talk about shows like Friends. I didn't like Friends. I didn't see me on Friends, so I didn't care to watch it. Also, I'm a realist, so I was like, there's no way that they could afford that apartment and live the way that they lived. But I didn't like that stuff. And it's frustrating because I didn't get to see me growing up, but I am very happy now because I see a lot more of me represented. I see more dark-skinned women showing up. The fact that Nima Tang is where she is gives me like so much joy. Night, Alicia. See, you hated Friends, India? Yeah. I thought Friends was not a good show. And I get that people did like it. I just didn't like it. Not even just because I didn't see me. But again, because I'm a realist and I just didn't. I was like, these people couldn't live like this. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was Los Angeles. I don't know what did it to me. But I was just like, these people couldn't live like this. It's some bullshit. Like, I don't get it. I didn't get it. And the jokes, I flew right by me. I liked Living Single a lot, which is what Friends is based off of. Living Single. That's the real Friends. Thought you should know. Like, Friends just wasn't a good show to me. I thought that the fact that all of these people live there like that, I could not relate to it. And so for me, not only not being able to not relate to it, and also there was no representation of Black people there. And I didn't realize until I started getting older, like why I didn't like certain shows. I just, I couldn't see, since there wasn't a representation of me there, I didn't care. And again, it's why I always say I've always liked horror because I've always found Black people in horror. Always. Like, I've always found Black people in horror. So I've never been in a situation where I didn't find Black people in horror. And they're not in every horror movie, obviously, and they don't always all die first. That's fucked up. But that's where I found my sense of community and my sense of belonging. And I loved Maxine. I loved Living Single. That was such a good show. I got to go back and start watching the reruns of it. I bet it's on. Is it on anything streaming? Because I haven't seen that one yet. Because that was my favorite. I loved that show because it was a really good depiction of like successful Black people. And like, I don't think enough people realize that Black people don't get that enough. And they all had like, they were varying shades of Black, but there were a lot of us dark bitches in there, dark brothers. So it was nice to see your skin tone represented, no matter what skin tone you were, it was in there somewhere. And I thought that was really important. And I feel like right now we're moving in this weird direction where or staying there. But as a Black person, it does get rough because you get told, like, because I'm brown, I'm supposed to be a certain way. And some of y'all don't even see it right now, like long nails that everybody's wearing. Listen, once upon a time, that was considered ghetto. When Black women were doing it, it was considered ghetto. And now there's like all these beauty YouTubers have long coffin nails and are doing their thing, and it's perfectly acceptable. But there was a period of time where people were just like, that's ghetto. That's ghetto shit. I'm not ghetto. And I'm just like, Okay, so now we're back. So all of these things, and I'm not meaning to offend anyone, but literally all of these things that we're seeing right now, Black people were doing that and being called ghetto and hood. A Black girl, if you guys don't watch TikTok, but there are several TikToks that young Black women are making showing, the difference between when a girl who is not Black, not yeah, when a white woman comes in, a white girl at their school comes in wearing the exact same outfit, she's seen as just like hanging out doing her thing, and then they'll have the same outfit and they'll be like how I'm seen by other people, and it's just like her being like shaking and be like and that's what we have to deal with all the time. I have to constantly deal. If I had another motherfucker when I decide to wear a wig, be like, looks like we've got a new person here. I'm gonna punch him in the face. That's why I gotta work for myself, because I can't stand that shit. That's so dumb. Obviously, I'm wearing a wig. No, I'm not a new person. Get the fuck out of here. Wigs and crazy hair colors too. Yes, T. And braids. Yes, ma'am. And now everyone's stealing it from us. And locks. Yes. Regina was my girl. I like Maxine. She was crazy like me. Oh my God, yes, I love my nails, but I know these trends are straight stolen from Black culture. Yes, Emily, because I remember growing up with it and being told that was ghetto, and then having to stay away from those kinds of things because it's ghetto. Yep, everything we do is ghetto until appropriated, then it's edgy. Exactly, and that's one of the reasons why I hate Kim Kardashian. I don't hate Kim Kardashian, her. I hate her persona because I don't know her enough to hate her, but I do hate her fucking persona. And it's frustrating because then the response is they're only wearing a hairstyle. Like, bitch, this is bigger than, thank you. And if you take nothing from this, please pay attention to all of the Black people who tell you and say out loud, being blonde isn't the same as a protective hairstyle. It is not the same as a hairstyle that has been passed down. It's one of the only things that we have, and you snatch it, and it's just fucked up. Like the thing that we have that was uniquely ours, and we have it taken, and we have these little girls sitting there. Wait, it's just hair. It's just hair. There's some little British bitch wandering around talking about. Oh my God, I'm not going to get into it because I'll get heated on that note. But I'm just saying, it is very, very difficult to be a person of color and watch people act like you're crazy when you say something. And here's the thing, I will say all day long, let those girls ruin their hair. When they're bald back here because it's not for their hair, that's on you, girlfriend. It's just hair. That's how I feel about it. I was getting snotty about that, but like, yes, thank you, T. What culture does own blonde hair? Because I have been waiting. And please, for the love of God, if one more motherfucker throws in Vikings head braids, it's not the same thing. And you're not a Viking. You're not. You're not. Stop doing that. It's so like, ooh, makes me so crazy because I'm like, oh, really? You're Viking? So you can trace your lineage back? Do you still have those traditions? Like, come on now. You don't have any traditions from Viking culture. And you're like, you just bring that up. This deflection is disgusting. Stop it. Yeah. And that's the thing. She said the Cash Me Outside little girl on her IG talking about why would anybody want to be Black. That's the thing about these people who blackfish and try to appropriate and pretend like they're light-skinned Black or whatever the fuck. They'll sit there and talk shit even though they're sliding in trying to pretend like they are. Because you look at those sites, that's why even I was watching As Told by Kenyon, I think it was in the summer of last year sometime, but she was talking about Fashion Nova. And I don't go to those sites anymore because I see it now. I was just looking for cheap clothing, but now I don't go there. And the reason I don't go there is because I see what the hell they're doing. First of all, a lot of it's tacky, but the other part of it is that they are appropriating this idea of like the standard of that Kardashian Blackness. That's really what they're doing. And it's very upsetting that they keep doing that to us. Allie said, my parents sent me to a white Catholic girls' school so I wouldn't be ghetto. But then I see the nails, clothes, and behavior from those girls infuriating and confusing. It really is. It weirds me out when I run into, and I understand people grow up wherever they grow up. I get that. But it weirds me out when I run into girls and they're just like, girl, you ain't gonna fucking talk to me like that. Like, period, period, period. And I'm like, does she know she's from suburbia? I'm just asking a question. I'm just asking a question. I'm confused. I just need to understand what happened here. I'm just asking a question. I'm so confused. You're just like I was confused when I was younger with people with Black people who lived in a small town in Abilene acting like they were from inner city LA. I'm just as confused by white girls in Southlake, Texas, which is a highly affluent area, talking like that. I don't understand. I'm like, where did you get this? Like, why are you why did you take on this persona? I'm confused. I just want, and I'm not being hateful, I just want to understand, because I'm like, you live in Southlake. You live in like a 7-bedroom house. You've never been poor. I don't know where you came from to be talking like this. It's this, Erasure of Black women is at a fever pitch, and it is mainly because of how popular the Kardashian, I said it like you, aesthetic is. Yes, it is very frustrating as a Black woman to feel like I have to fit into a mold, and I found this at work. T's talked about this before too. At my job, I'm going to tell you right now, if I behaved exactly as the men did in a meeting, I was the only one brought into a meeting to find out if I was upset. I had an attitude. I was irritated. And I'm like, nah, dude, I was just bored as fuck at this meeting, just like the 2 white men were in this meeting as well. But I'm the only one in here. That's why I was fired. I was fired because I wasn't going to just be like, get along Black. I wasn't going to be like, yeah. And at the end of the day, I look at that and I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not going to have these closed door meetings with you trying to explain this. It's the same shit. He is just as annoyed by this meeting and he's just as annoyed, but I'm the only one being called out because I have an attitude, or I'm irritated. I'm like, I'm not irritated. I don't have an attitude. I care just as little about this meeting as the other 2 people, and yet I'm the one getting called out. And I'm tired of my Blackness trying to be erased. It's why I now get on anyone white who tells me, oh, Audra, you're the whitest Black girl I know. I'm like, that's not a compliment. Not a compliment. I'm fucking Black. What you just said to me implies to me that you think that all Black people are uneducated. And just because of the way someone speaks doesn't make them uneducated. Thank you. Do not say that shit to me again. If you say that to me in the streets now, like, I will throw things at you. I'm going to throw things at you. I'm like, no, sweetie, I'm Black. It is the fact that they're out here. So I'll take this way back. Listen, if you want to go way back, talk about Escalades, right? Soccer moms suddenly having Escalades with rims on them when they didn't give a fuck. Snoop Dogg and the like start rapping about Escalades and rims. And all of a sudden you have like white soccer moms in suburbia with Escalades with rims. And you're like, what the fuck is happening here? I just don't understand. Black is great as long as it's not on Black. That's all. Black is good as long as it's not on Black. It's great. My Blackness is fantastic as long as it's not on me. So, I mean, it is very annoying. If I get irritated, I'm hood. And that's why I don't say that. I don't say like, oh, I got a little hood in me. I don't say that. I don't have hood in me. I'm angry. And that's the way I speak when I'm angry. And I speak and take whatever the fuck I want from my culture and do that. But I don't have hood in me because I'm not from the hood, and I'm not ghetto because I'm not ghetto, and there isn't such a thing as ghetto. And saying that is really fucked up to like try to make people feel bad about their circumstances. Keisha said, that's part of why I quit my job in the middle of this pandemic. I'm hoping to be able to work from home permanently with my new job because I can't. Tired of this shit. Me too. India says, I had a manager come to me after a meeting nearly in tears because of something I said in a meeting. She thought I was upset with her when it was really about preventing burnout in the workplace. COS, I'm fucking mad, period. Nappy headed Hoba, Miss T. They want everything about Black women, the style, grace, originality, creativity, and uniqueness, but they want to extract the Black woman from the whole equation. Yes. And I don't understand. Like, I'm going to leave on this note because the wine's almost gone. I said when the wine was gone, I'm going to leave. We need to be worried. I don't know how many of you guys have been watching the news, but we need to be worried. I try to keep my head in the sand. Like I said, not even head in the sand. I try to keep my channel to be like frivolous. And I feel like I'm not going to be able to continue to do that at some point. But we need to be concerned because the head Cheeto is really in these streets trying to dismantle the USPS. And I don't know if you understand the importance of him dismantling it, but it means people would not be able to vote by mail like they wanted to. They won't be able to vote by mail. It means over 100,000 veterans that the Cheeto claims to care about will be out of jobs. The mail, the USPS is a service to all of us. They deliver mail 7 days a week, free of charge. Do you understand what's going to happen if the USPS dies? Because there are places that FedEx and UPS don't actually deliver to, and I don't know how many people know that. So as Black people, as people in general, as all people, we need to watch the fuck out because they are not only erasing Black people, which they've been doing for a long time, but they're trying to erase all of us poor motherfuckers down here. They're trying to destroy us. And they're going to succeed if we are not careful. We have got to pay attention. I am frightened. I woke up this morning trying to like be chill. And I read that article and fear actually shivered up, like a cold line of fear shivered up my spine because I was like, this man is not going to leave office. He's not going to leave office. And the things that they're doing to try to stifle and destroy our vote, and they've been doing it forever. And I feel like I'm getting worried they're going to be successful. And I as if I didn't have enough on my plate, as if I didn't have enough trying to fight all the stereotypes of being Black. Every Black woman knows this, that we have to represent for all Black women, and we don't really, and it's annoying as fuck. And now we've been having this insane character try to dismantle our country, and he's doing a good job, and it's all because people seem to think, and this ties in, I promise, this ties into what he was talking about with taking Black culture, and they want everything, and they're trying to erase us. And that's what this is about. If you look at it, all these people who support that Cheeto, they want everyone brown to leave their country. Make America great again is really make America white again. That's what it's been. We know that. We're not dumb. Everybody who's educated, don't matter what color you are, you know that that's what they really mean. And they've been working and working and working towards this shit. And I'm very worried that if this continues, the erasure of our cultures is going to continue. We're not going to be allowed to be Black. We have enough problems being Black as it is. And I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do sometimes. He's just letting everybody, you're right, Allie. He's letting everybody die. I have dumb fucks over here. I saw a guy with a sign that was like, reopen now. And I'm like, do you understand what's happening? Plot Against America. Ooh, I could probably get HBO for 30 days free on Prime. Michelle Michael, the voting lines broke my heart. I am one of the few states that allows you to your ballot. I missed the cutoff time. I went to a drop off, didn't even have to leave the car. Yes. I mean, it's just like, I feel like we have enough momentum to at least do a write-in vote. We haven't, like, we can't allow this to continue. We can't. The reason that everybody hated Obama wasn't because he was educated, and it wasn't just because he was Black. It was because we, the people, started to feel empowered. We started to feel like we had a voice, and our government doesn't want us to have that. They want us down here struggling, and they're going to force us to struggle. It's my biggest conspiracy, not biggest, but one of them. It's why they don't want you to have a business and why they work so hard against you to make it difficult for you to start your own business. It's honestly why I think the YouTube's got extra crazy, because if too many people start making money on YouTube, then they don't have to work in the corporate cog machine, and they can make their own money doing exactly what they want to do, which is why they demonetize everybody. Moving on. But yeah, this isn't gonna work. I don't know what to do anymore. It's like we're out here and we're trying, and it's just Keisha, yeah, a lot of us are. And I think that the people who follow Trump blindly, follow the Cheeto, they think somehow that one day they're gonna be rich. They think somehow that they're gonna be safe. I'm like, he hates you too. He hates all of you. If you are poor, they hate you. They hate you, and they're not going to let you be a part of their club. It doesn't matter if you win the lottery. They're not going to let you be a part of their club. Done. That's on period. That's on you not understanding how these motherfuckers are manipulating you. They're not going to let you be a part of their club. They're going to destroy you just as soon as they can. You're going to vote them in, and you've already done it, and they're still crushing you. And you're over here like the frog in the water that's slowly boiling, and you're just dying and you don't know it. And it just kills me. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry I got like crazy, but like that's what it feels like. It feels like that when you put the frog in the water and you let the water slowly boil, and that's what's happening to these people. The water is slowly boiling, and they just sitting there like, this feels nice. This is nice. This is great. They will walk over a road of nails to vote for that man, all to get rid of brown people. And I could care less. I'm just like, I don't, is it could care or couldn't? I could not care less. I can never put that together properly. I'm sorry. I've been watching, so I've watched a lot of different things. And I can never remember them. As soon as I get on a live stream, I forget everything. But it is like the systematic destruction of the poor. See, it's couldn't. I knew it was couldn't. And I say couldn't, and then I get nervous because I'm like, is it could not? And then I spell the whole sentence out. So I was like, I could not care less. I could care less. I couldn't not care less. I couldn't care less. It's because of irregardless. When people started saying irregardless, it fucked me up. Yes, our whole existence is A Seat at the Table album. Because here's the thing. I have like 10 minutes left. Here's how this works. The systematic destruction of the poor. They keep you poor. They make you poor. And you are so poor that you cannot see what's happening because you're struggling. And they keep lying to you and using the good buzzwords to make you feel like they're going to do something that's going to help you. And they're not. They're going to make you struggle. They don't want you to start your own business. They don't want you to work for yourself. They don't want you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. It's all bullshit. We have boots. We don't have boots, and we don't have straps. We have none of those things. We don't have the shoestrings. We have jack shit. Healthcare is deliberately expensive to prevent you from doing that. It's there to prevent small businesses from actually succeeding, right? Because as a small business, you can't compete against a huge corporation that can offer insurance. And people need insurance in this country because it's so expensive. Medical care is so expensive. So what they do is they systematically keep us poor, and unable to rise up, to do anything but sit there. They've taken education from us. Education gets more and more and more expensive. So it gets harder and harder and harder for people to get out of their circumstances, get better, do well, and provide for their community and do well for their community. They've made it almost impossible, and they're not going to stop. They're going to keep crushing us. And I knew this a long time ago. If you want to look at what our country is going to look like if this continues, look at Venezuela. Look at them. There's only rich and there's only poor. If you look at countries like that, there isn't a middle class. There's rich and there's poor. That's it. And you're down here struggling, and all you can do is struggle. So the second somebody says, like, we all do that. And I don't know what kind of alternative universe that I have stumbled into, but I want to get out. Like, can I go back because this ain't it. This is not going to work for me. I have not, the past 5 years have really taught me how much I'm not good with the corporate machine. I can't be in it. I'm not saying we don't have corporations, obviously, like they should be better, but I personally don't like to be a part of it. It's unhealthy for me to get up at the hours that I get up. My body doesn't like it. I'm actually only functioning when I go to work. I'm only high functioning from about 8 until like 12:30. And then after that, I'm garbage. And I'm just like, can I just work these hours where I'm high functioning and still get paid? And it's just, I don't understand. I remember reading, Animal Farm in 1984 in high school. And I'm like, why the fuck is this happening right now? Idiocracy. That movie this is real life. We're going to be putting Gatorade on plants soon. I don't even know what to say about that. No, Allie, this is not the beginning of the Hunger Games. This is the beginning of the Purge. This is how this movie went down. What, idiocracy, T? That, like, we're really living in idiocracy? We really are. I legitimately am worried that at some point somebody's just going to be like, plants love it. Like, see, I said, well, we're officially an idiocracy. We really are. And I don't know what to say about it. Like, I don't even know how to handle it anymore, because you look someone in the face when they're sitting there telling you, like, no, he's done everything he said he was going to. I'm like, what did he do? Wall blew the fuck down and was not paid for by Mexico. He's done nothing. He's done nothing but like bluster on Twitter like a friggin' idiot. Like, he's gambling all of your lives and you just don't even care. You're like, yeah, open everything up. We can't afford to lose 16 million jobs. I'm like, okay, so I guess we're not caring about anybody's lives. Because what we don't realize is inside we're not seeing the chaos that's going on in the hospital. Like, it's horrible. I just got pictures from Dallas. I'm like, the fuck? And I'm going out to work every day trying to avoid this, trying to not look at it so that I can go to work and not stress. I've already put it into the universe. I'm not getting this shit, so I'm not. But I'm telling you, he is growling because he's annoyed because it's shower time. I haven't gotten in the shower yet. Normally I'm in the shower by 9:10, 9:15. If I'm not in the shower by that time, he gets rowdy. Come here, baby. I'm going to get in the shower. You want a treat or something? Do you want to be nice? No, that's a problem with bullies, as they are bullies. Pit bulls are bullies. But yeah, I don't want to be a person who gets mad all the time. And I know that we're all going through a lot of shit, so I try not to like have videos where I'm actively talking about this. And I think I use my lives to really go in on it. But like, I'm concerned. I am worried. And we collectively cannot let this continue. We can't. We can't let the ignorant bunch fuck it up for the rest of us. We cannot. They cannot be willfully ignorant and so racist and say, I'm not racist. I have black friends. Like, fuck you. If you know you have black friends, then you're racist. Like, that's like, I don't. If you say things to me and try to take away my blackness by saying it shouldn't matter what color you are, like, fuck you. I don't see color. Yes, you do. Everyone does. I definitely see color. Why wouldn't I? I have eyes that see color. That is a bullshit ass statement. And you're trying to diminish how I feel and who I am by taking that from me. Do not say that to me. I'm not going back to work. I don't want you guys to sit here and tell me that I should be grateful and all of no. This stimulus, yeah. And you know what's really fucked up? There's two parts of this stimulus, right? There's the people that's supposed to help. And then there's people like me who I have not stopped working. I've continued to work. I continue to get my paycheck. I like my company a lot. I love where I work a lot. I'm not saying that because they might be watching. I'm saying it because I genuinely love where I work. But then the people like me who get it because it's a twofold thing. It's like just like the last time. The point is that the people who don't necessarily need it to survive use it to pump up the economy. Ew, he really did. Cheeto insisted that his signature be on the stimulus checks. Oh my God. And like, they just keep acting like they're just going to open shit the fuck back up. And I'm really concerned about that because I'm like, listen, we finally hit like and here's the thing. I need y'all to know, if you don't know, I'm going to tell you, Texas isn't done. Texas is just now really, like, Texas has been getting bad. It's getting worse. El Paso, spiking like crazy. Dallas, highest death toll it's had. This shit is going, like, do not let them trick you into believing we have hit like the peak. We have not hit the peak. And Texas is having the problems because we didn't even do the things we needed to do. We did not. Like, people are still, like, there are jobs where people could be telecommuting to that they're not telecommuting to because they're not. Nobody has shut anything down here officially. That's it. So it's getting bad, and it's getting bad. So Saucer Jess in El Paso, it's also spiking because one of my friends was explaining there's a very large Hispanic, Latino, Latinx, I don't know what we want to call it, community. And hey, Kara, in El Paso, obviously it's right by the border. So there's a very large Latino community there. And as with Black communities, suspicious of the government in a lot of ways, but also very communal, spend time with each other, have dinner, have breakfast, do all of these things. They didn't stop doing it because our governor, the governor of Texas, refused to just say, we're shutting it down. So because he refused to say it, people didn't feel like there was anything wrong, and they just kept gathering. That's the problem. The issue is the states who handled it well and said, like, we're shutting everything down, they're starting to see improvements. But the states who haven't done so because they're afraid of the economy and afraid of, like, upsetting their people, it's like we're making it worse. Not just I'm convinced the numbers are wrong, not just because of the lack of testing, but because they aren't honest about the actual death toll. That is correct. Same in San Antonio. We don't have enough tests. We don't have enough anything. And then you just have like this crazy madman in office, just like tweeting insanity every 5. I don't understand how we have a president that tweets everything. Like, why is there I don't understand it. Like, he's acting like a fucking influencer who can just do whatever he wants. Like, fuck you guys, I'm the best. And you're like, what? Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. And that's the thing. Mardi Gras should have been stopped and spring break should have been stopped. Mr. J, you are absolutely correct. These things could have been prevented and were not. And you have Cheeto baby hands having a whole ass fit anytime anybody disagrees with him. And that's why I don't understand why people are like, he's not a politician. I'm like, yeah, that's a problem. And I don't want to be mean about it, but like, that's a problem. That's like buying a house from someone who isn't a real, just being like, I'm going to buy a house and I'm going to use this guy over here who sells cheese. It's the same thing, right? It's not the same thing. That guy sells cheese. He knows nothing about real estate. He can't get you the right deal. He can't make sure that your inspection's correct. We have a guy who was on a reality show whose catchline was "You're fired" as our president. And you're telling me that this is okay. It's not okay. The only reason I think I don't get as stressed as I could get by going to work is I feel fairly confident that I had this shit in November. So around Thanksgiving, I got the sickest I've gotten in a really long time. Like I was wheezing, I was having a really hard time. But just due to things that I changed in my life, I didn't go to the doctor or anything, and I got over it. So I felt very confident that I got over it, that I feel fairly confident that I've had it. Yeah. So it's he saying the same thing. She's like, I feel like 2 of my friends had it in January. I feel like I had it like the end around Thanksgiving time. I just got stupid sick and I had this fever. One thing for me to note is that I do not have, my standing temperature is around 97.6, 97.8. So I had this weird fever, and the thing was it kept coming and going, which I hadn't experienced in a really, like I normally have a fever, it spikes, it goes away, and then I feel better. This fever kept coming and going. So I would get a fever and I'd feel terrible. And then the fever would like go down. And I was like, oh, I'm getting better. Cool. And then I would like get up and start doing things. And within a few hours, the fever was back. And I was like, I feel like shit. Coughing, wheezing, couldn't breathe. I was having a really hard time. And then once I got over it, I was like, okay, well, that was weird. Of course, my job at that time, not the company I work for now, but the company I work for then, were being dicks like, oh, you should come to work. Everybody would really appreciate it if you came. And I'm like, okay, but like, I don't feel well. And then people that my employees were getting sick. We don't, Jess, but I'm going to go with a general consensus of most things. So usually when you get it, it's harder for you to get it again. It's not immunity so much as your white blood cells know how to fight it. I guess that's a form of immunity, but I wouldn't call it that. I mean, I don't know. So Keisha, what I want to know is if it's resurfacing in people that already had it, has it mutated? That's the biggest thing. For fuck's sake, Kimberly, why would you come in here and say that there's 3 strains? You just ruined my day. Do y'all hear my neighbor doing? So here's the thing. I respect this dude so much, not because, well, anyway, I'm not going to say that. My neighbor, he doesn't actually live there. I don't actually have like someone directly next to me. Like there's a storage center in between. He works out every day in his storage unit, and I listen to his like barbells and shit hit the ground. Sometimes I just want to go over there and be like, bro, can I lift for like 10 minutes? Like I just need to do something. Vision of You said, I had it last May. I didn't have a fever, but I had burning chest pain with breathing. I was diagnosed with pleurisy, which was lung inflammation, which is commonly caused by a virus. I know. Bo's getting in his fucking feelings. I'm going to have to take a shower here soon because he's going to get pissed off at me. He just, like, the thing about Bo is he is, and if you want a dog that is like a child, again, I wouldn't recommend having children if you don't have them already. No, I'm just kidding. But so I have to deal with 70 pounds laying on me all the time. He is very, very adamant about his schedule. So if I am not adhering to said schedule, like he knows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, he knows Friday and Saturday, he knows Sunday. I am normally showered by now, and I'm not, and it's pissing him off. He's not going to do anything. That's why I tell you, pit bulls are sweet. He is very sweet, but he's a bully, and he's angry that the schedule is being broken. So, yes, Keisha, I'm going to go because I have been over here like yelling to the wine's gone, I'm gone. Listen, if you're not drinking wine in a mason jar, you're not living your life right. And on that note, I'm going to say, deuces! You didn't miss it, Auntie. Deuces, guys. Have a good night.